She's interested in joining Rotary. Nikita, please say hello.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nikita Bowleg. And yes, as past President Raquel would have stated, I am interested in being a part of such a dynamic organization. So I'm looking forward to all that you have to offer and what I'm going to be learning today.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. And let me tell you, you have come to no other better place than here at the Rotary Club of Nassau. And so we're going to be so delighted to welcome you, and we say to you to get hold of Raquel and make sure don't let her go. All right, because we need you. We need your gifts and your talents as well. Thank you so much. And anyone else? Do we have anyone else on the call? Any other visitors on the call? Okay, if there be no other visitors on the call, do we have any apologies? Well, I see a few apologies in the crowd. I mean, online. Any visiting? Any apologies, Chantel? Do we know of?
Everybody who's not here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody who's not here. Apologies for them.
I actually got an apology for visiting Rotary. PhD Karen Pinder wanted to be in person, but she can't make it, so she wants us to make sure we record it so she can see it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then I think we ought to welcome back Chantel and Felia. We ought to welcome them back. Welcome them back. And all the shame that went over and represented so well. And she looks so lovely. She's back and she's ready to go. Where Felia?
She's in Miami.
Oh, see, she had to stop over.
Yeah.
I wondered if you was to stop over too. I was surprised you didn't.
Only because I had to contact the
That's not
company.
one night. That's not one night.
Still in one
She's
night.
still in one night.
Okay, and before I take my seat, I'd just like to invite our president, Mike, who's on the call, here to come in and to bring his greetings and update. President Mike, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, good day, RCN. Well, as MC just Sergeant at Arms just indicated, we're glad to have Chantel, Felia, and also I hope Charlene made it back safely from the district conference in St. Martin. From what I've seen online, it was truly a huge success. RCN received several award citations, as did virtually all the clubs here in RCOB. Some exact details of what we garnered will be shared with you later. We have one request this week. RCN/ROB, we need some volunteers to man our raffle booth, ticket sale booth at Solomon's Old Trail this coming Saturday from 10 in the morning till 3 p.m. So we, like I say, we'll sign up, give us a list of names so we can fully man this booth and get the raffle ticket sales underway. Back over to you, IPP Stephen, MC for today.
All right, thank you, esteemed President Mike, and thank you everyone who's here today. So I'm sure you all, sometimes you haven't seen some faces for a couple of months and whatnot. And normally in church we'll just tell you use this time for fellowship and go around and shake everybody's hand and hear everybody, tell them how much you miss them, as the case may be. All right. So, but I think it would be remiss if Chantel comes all the way from St. Martin and just kind of say hello and tell us if she met, and then I'll leave that part there. But just tell us how it went and how things are going. Just in a nutshell, Chantel. It'll be remiss.
I can stay right here.
Have it go on top of the table in here.
Yeah.
Microphone so they can hear you.
Because based on what I see you always doing the nighttime, you might tell us about that too.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll leave that now.
No, I think you can this one for the folks online. Right. So, St. Martin, I was expecting it to be very boring because it's training, so you just go and they just throw all this information at you and you just suck it up. But they actually made it very engaging, which was good. And I did, thank them for that. Just as you got to that point where you were getting totally bored and like, okay, out of it, and they switch on you, right? It's like, okay, they paid attention to that. So that was good. Obviously, it's very good information, which we can use back in the club. But they know we were all there for fellowship as well. I mean, I think we maybe had 10 persons who were actually in pets, but we had like 300 people there. So obviously they came off with a partying side of it. So we had a lot of stuff going on in the evening. As we said, we can't share all that stuff that was going on in the evening, but the average coming in time was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. On Friday, we had a walk with PG Louis Saturday morning at 5 a.m. As we were gearing up to go walking, persons were just coming in at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. So that can tell you we had a really good time. But we did a lot of networking, made contacts with a lot of people that we're gonna engage, exchange ideas. To help keep the year exciting and engaging, because doing the same thing every time, you don't want a person to get burned out, you don't want them to get bored. So we'll connect with other clubs. So we got a lot of contacts. So we will be using those. As Michael mentioned, we did win some awards. There were 3 categories of awards that were given out. We actually did get awards for all the categories. One of them we had to do some maneuvering when I got back. Because we had some challenges with actually uploading the reports, but we had conversations this morning, so we did actually get awards in all 3 of the categories from the district, which was good. We only could upload what we actually did, so that means we would have activities and persons that turn on 3 ways to upload them. So that was really good. And that's in the nutshell. Nothing else.
Excellent. What you brought back first? What you brought back first?
I brought some pens.
Some pens? Yeah,
Yes.
we won the pens.
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be so delighted that Chantal was a good experience. So the next presidents, I don't know, what's the next conference next year?
In Croy.
St. Croix. So whoever president-elect, and so we can aspire. Maybe after the day's discussion with the presidents, we have all kind of volunteers want to go to St. Croix next year as the president-elect. All right. What we know the food is coming on this way, but I think we could just delve right into what we're about to do and what it's all about. Keno, I know you don't have your moment today, but we get bouncing into it. We can give you a break so you can relax and everybody can take it. What we're talking about, just a round table, how it used to be, what it is now, the future of past presidents. We have a lot of past presidents who are in this distinguished club, esteemed past presidents, and oftentimes we don't know them, and they're sitting right among us. I don't know how many's online. I know Raquel is there. Anyone else?
Past president.
Yes.
Was Tony past president?
Tony, yes.
Yes.
He's on?
Tony's online.
Okay, Tony's on, great. Okay, so leaving at that front table, the past president, just say who you are. That table there.
This one here.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
They need the mic so people can hear them? How they can fix that?
Sheila Bethel.
Okay, we
I
got,
was president 2009, 2010.
we got Sheila.
Dottie Ray, president twice.
Okay, good. Then,
First female president, right?
yeah, we can fix that. Don't get in my business. Then, Brother Larry?
Back in the old days.
Back in the days. I hear you. On this table, yeah? Francine, you was no president like Zuma? Okay. I know. Jamal is here?
Yeah, Jamal is online.
Okay, Jamal. Jamal, and let's say hello from past President Jamal and Shanti and Raquel. I hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
You say you didn't hear me? I heard my name.
Yes, I just need you to say a shout out. All the past presidents must give a.
Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Hey, everybody. This
Good
is
to see
Past
you
President
all.
Raquel. Sorry, I'm not there in person today, but happy to be online.
Which year did you serve? Oh, yes.
Boy, I think it may have been 2010, 2011 as president. And I can't remember what years I served as club administrator. I think I did that for 5 consecutive years.
Excellent.
And then I think I did treasurer for 2 consecutive years.
Good.
But I
Jamal?
don't remember the years, but I think my presidency was 10 and 11.
Jamal?
Yes, I think that, well, I think I know for a fact that it was for me for president 2008, 2009, because I think that's the same year that I ran into my own practice. So I don't think I could ever forget that year. You know, I said that I'll be free up with time so I can do this. But yeah, 2008 to 2009, the best year ever.
And Past President Jamal, while we get you on the line, my information is that this was the best year Rotary had when you was president. Is that true?
Well, if I stick with our motto, then I may not be quite right, because even I think that in more recent years, I think that our club has seen a phenomenal experience with productive
No, but
members.
you had a good time, man. Just leave it right there. You had a good time. It was a great year when you was president. Okay, we
It
got
was.
nothing in the middle of the table, any on down here? Presidents on down here?
Well, one time they trusted on me. No, actually, lost me the years. I don't remember the years.
I don't enter 12-13.
Okay.
Which would mean I was 211, 15 anniversary.
But we just want to talk and go back how it used to be, what it's like, and really miss. Larry is, I bring, Larry.
Yes, yes.
As president, what was that feeling? You took over as president.
It was fantastic because we've been going into so many things and changes around that time that it was a memorable time for Rotary. I think one thing we should remember is that sitting next to me is Dottie Ray.
No,
Oh, hold on. She was the first woman president of this club.
But Larry, what I'm saying to you, what some of the things that made you feel good as president? What made you feel good? Some of the things you did, you can remember.
Well, I think the big thing during my days was I was president of basketball, and we did a lot for Aaron Bailey. We started the Aaron Bailey Club, and we also had worked with the Rotary Club to sponsor a basketball player to go and live with a Rotarian and develop his skills. So there were a lot of things going on, but I think the thing that has lasted is the Rotary Club of Aaron Bailey.
Excellent. Let's give Larry a hand. Everybody got a nice friend with Dr. Ray. Tell me what that experience is like.
It's right there.
Okay, I want to know what that experience is like being the first woman. And I hope Sam wasn't one of them who voted against you.
No, I don't even know if Sam was a member then. Were you, Sam? Maybe this-
What that was like.
It was interesting. It was difficult. There was some controversy.
Yes.
Tony Wallace was my sponsor, and it took actually 6 months to ratify.
6 months to ratify.
Yes,
What were the contentious issues that seems to be?
because it was considered in those days a men's club
It was considered a men's club
by the men, of course.
by the men.
But what happened was, that had changed. It had been brought to the various courts in the United States, especially California.
Yes.
And it was said that once you had qualified as
Yes.
a professional, you were obviously allowed, if you wish, to join Rotary.
Yes,
Well, you know how things were here, 23, 4, 5 years ago?
yes,
Very male-oriented society. I'm a business person, and that was one of the qualifications. You had to be a professional.
you have to be a professional.
Yeah. And the funniest thing about it is, one of the people who was really, really against me
Yes.
turned out to be one of my best helps when I became
When
president.
you became president. Oh, man, that's wonderful.
He was there nearly every night at supper time. I would have the phone hanging off,
Yeah.
and he was giving me all the information I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do and who I'm supposed to have and what I'm not supposed to have.
Excellent.
But it was interesting.
But Donnie, stick a pin there. What I want to find out before the women were admitted, were you all allowed to come as guests?
Oh, yes. Yes, they had special days. And the thing is, I come from a family of Rotarians.
Yes.
My father was a member of this club.
Yes.
My brother was a member of this club. My husband was a member of this club.
Oh, man.
My son was a founding member of Sunrise Freeport.
Yes.
I was an Inner-Wheel a member, president, and I'm the only Bahamian woman who's ever been chairman of Inner-Wheel 702 Caribbean.
Wow.
So I come from a Rotarian family. So I was quite used to whatever they threw at me.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, man, we're so proud of that story, and, you know, we gotta make sure these things are documented. Chantel likes to write, and figure I can delegate it. We're gonna keep these stuff going. It's really some good stories. We got a lot of history in this club, and that's why we are the first club and the #1 club. That's why this room supposed to be filled every Tuesday. Right, Sheila?
Right.
She didn't listen to me. She didn't listen to me.
Yes, I was. I thought it was a rhetorical question.
Yes. It's good. Okay, we are just happy. But we can still bounce to 1 or 2 who haven't gotten their plate yet. Brother Sam, and you came with the Rotary. What inspired you? You're a reverend. Reverend is supposed to be a Rotary. What inspired you to become a Rotary? Okay. Rotary inspired you to be a reverend.
And fellow by the name of Bill Parkinson
Yes.
sponsored me.
Yes.
And that was, I suppose that's one of the best decisions I ever made,
Yes.
joining Rotary.
Yes.
I was so, Rotary has always been inspiring. It's always been something that I really like. And I've always enjoyed it until the pandemic kind of screwed up everything.
So, Sam, what do you think would be one of your highlights as a president? If you something you always remember.
Well, I suppose the most outstanding thing probably is the award, or Rotary, a Rotary Award.
You got that?
Yeah, which we did during my administration.
Yeah. The administration that was instituted.
Yeah.
He instituted, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good thing. So when we see that award, we think, Sam.
Oh, you can.
Okay, so what advice would you give the newcomer presidents?
Well, the thing about what I find during the time I was president, it's a lonely job. You know, you feel sometimes that you're not getting the support, but you are. You know, people support you, and another thing, thank you. Another thing about presidents is past challenge you. They really want to help you. They want to see you succeed. When I was president, many of the past presidents came to me, and if they saw something, they saw a weakness, or they saw something to improve, they'd call me up and say, Sam, maybe you should do this. But their whole intention was to make me better and to make Rotary better. So when past presidents suggest things, they are trying to help, not criticize. And for the younger presidents coming in, always remember that the past presidents have a lot of knowledge. And if you have problems, go to them. Always seek out people who can help you, their advice.
Yes. Remember that, the memory of that. Vice President Raquel on the line.
I'm still here. I didn't hear the question, sorry.
You got that, Raquel?
Just wanted to repeat it.
No, I didn't hear the question, sorry.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you, you were at one time you said was the past president of the Rotary Club of Nassau. You fulfilled a lot of roles. It must be an exciting moment. What was it like? And when you wake up on July 1st and found out that realize that you were the president. What an excitement and what your year was like. I ain't like you remember all that, but
Did you get that, Raquel?
Raquel, you got that?
Yes, I got that. I was on mute. My apologies. I think someone said once that a president has two exciting days: the day they become president and the day they pass it on to someone else. And so I think in many ways I had a similar experience, but in many ways it was a very exciting and rewarding time. I think one of the things that I thought was very interesting was I felt invisible in the club prior to becoming the president of the club. And to me, once I went to district conference and came back home with the awards, I felt visible. And the reason I think I felt visible, I think at the time, it wasn't that our club wasn't doing anything, it was that we weren't submitting the applications for the awards. And so I was one of those presidents that got a platinum award, and there were people who would see me in the grocery store who were members of our club that walked right past me, but after that they saw me. I don't know what if that's what made the difference or whatnot, but the point is it was a very exciting time. I think we did a lot. I was very happy to be a member of the Rotary Club of Nassau, the first club in the Bahamas. That was a huge deal. And I think I learned a lot. I sat next to Dottie Ray and her husband, at least my first, I want to say 5 to 10 years in the club, and just sitting there and next to persons like past President Sheila, past President Joan, past President Sam. Those were persons who I became very closely affiliated with. We spoke a lot. So sometimes I just sat and listened. And so I gained a wealth of knowledge, and they all became persons who were very, very supportive of everything, who were also willing and able and prepared to give advice. And they were always very supportive. And I think I really appreciate that more than anything.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Tell me something, Raquel. You still there?
I'm still there.
What you think was one of your most trying moments as a president?
My most trying, I remember my very first meeting as a president. There are probably a couple, but my very first meeting, even though I sat next to past President Malcolm, I was supposed to, I went up to the podium thinking, well, I don't need notes. I know what I want to say. And I went up and I couldn't remember past President Malcolm's name, even though I sat next to him for like 5 years. Sam made a comment earlier that being a president can feel like a lonely job. And sometimes it can feel that because you're bearing the weight of the club and you're the persons whose name will go against whether the club does well or the club doesn't do well. And so you feel that weight, even though there are persons working along with you. But it's also rewarding because once I finished that year, I felt like there wasn't anything I couldn't do. And that feeling has carried me since then to now.
Okay, thank you. You fought all out. You gave it all out. What we saw, that was it. That was it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We swing back on past President Dwayne. You can share with us your experience you used in 150 years. Was that easy? Passing through the 50 years, or was just all excitement because everything went perfect, or there were some things we don't know happened to make that happen? And you can tell us today.
Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the persons who helped me to be the 50th anniversary president and were able to help me to succeed during my year. Persons like Sheila, of course, who was there encouraging me every day. You can do it, and you can do it. And she never left me hanging. If it was only her doing the decorations at an event that I had, Sheila was always there. I always could rely on past President Sam because he was always there for me as well. And of course, Joan, she always had my back. So one of the things that I remember the most that I will never forget, and I don't think that Raquel remembered, is that I came after her. And one of the things she said is, Dwayne, I got your back, because she said a true reflection of a president is not what a president does in their year, but what they do in the year afterwards. And that alone was reassurance for me that I could succeed. And one of the highlights that I had was to see Larry holding the flag and running in the marathon. At the time, I didn't know that was going to be the company that I actually ended up working for, but that's just how life had it. And so all of these things just came together. And one thing I can say, because I was able to have a successful Rotary year, because of the persons who assisted me, it helped me in my own personal life in terms of my own career and the confidence that I had to know that I could do whatever I needed to do as long as I put my mind to it. And as long as I had the support and the just the general support of those who were a part of the team.
So if you look at that video, you all had a lot of events, but which one of the events you said this was the event?
I think the one that we had at the British Colonial, when we had a Junkanoo rush out, was one of the highlights. Even though we had, you would have to ask. I tell you, she had my back then. I'm not going to throw under the bus now. But I mean, that was one of the best evenings that I have ever had. It was really, really awesome. It was fantastic.
Okay, Jamal,
Yes, go ahead. Hey, Stephen. President. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm saying,
I missed all of that. It's muffled. It was muffled.
Okay, tell us what that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Past President Stephen, let me see, 2008, that's like what, 21 years ago? That's what, sorry, that's like. Hold on. That's like 13. Hold on, 2008, 2020 is 12, 21 is 13. That's like 14 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you look something like that as the president now.
Man.
Hey, that's why I never elected for a treasurer. But no, but you know, if I recall, in my recollection was a very fun year. You know, I remember going to board meetings and when we deliberated, planned events and so forth. And my approach was always to avoid too much talk, back and forth talk. And I think some members who were around the board with me will recall that I always was very cut to the chase. And, you know, once we said we're going to do this, that was it. We can do that, move to the next issue and so forth. And all in all, I think that, you know, we had a fantastic year. You know, as Raquel said, you know, in years before her year, I don't think we sort of submitted a lot of our achievements to the district conference so as to get awards. But, you know, it should have been my focus, but that really wasn't my focus. My focus really would have been just to ensure that we went out in the community and we did what was expected of Rotarians. And, you know, I think that we did that well. We had fantastic volunteerism from members of the club. And, you know, I also credit a lot of help to Sam too, because I know that Sam's helped us a lot with building home roofs and doing carpentry works for the less fortunate. But I think one of the chief projects that we did that still is going on today would have been our health fair that we started back then. And I'm happy to see that that's still going on. But, you know, Sam mentioned as well that one of the best decisions he made was to join Rotary. And I equally share that, because being part of other organizations and seeing the conflict and the like in Rotary, it all seems to be persons coming together for one common goal, which is to help the underprivileged, the less fortunate, and no selfish real agendas. And it's a phenomenal entity, and I'm very happy to know each of you for the last however many years I've been there.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Jamal. That sounds like a goodbye speech, man.
No, that's just a senior speech.
Okay, but just work on the numbers for the next time I call you, all right? You'll be good. Okay, good. Be looking good. I think we have some good things from our president so far. Things are moving. And so I think past President Donnelly is on now, right? Donnelly, give me a cue that you there.
Hello.
Okay, Vice President Donnelly, just give me an idea. What it was like to be president, that Donnelly Bo is the president. What was that like? How do you feel? How do you feel when you tell people you want a president? What was that like?
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Thank you, past President Steve, for allowing me to say a few words at this time. Of course, I think it's now 3 years that brought on after I was completed, it brought you on as the president and then Mike. So I think that's 3 years. That was the year of the beginning of the COVID season. And as you know, it was new to all of us. And so we had to ride out the storm through a complete year of COVID. I think that was COVID-19. That was the year it started, and that's the year I was the president. And so, nevertheless, we did manage to start the, increasing the membership at that time. I think there was quite a number of persons that joined, including current President Mike, who came on board at that time, and a few other prominent people who are now serving the club to help us grow and the fellowship and the friendship that we have. We also resurrected more or less the R.M. Bailey and the C.V. Battle School. We did quite a bit of work there, and having the youth club have some more prominence and finding some person at that school to work. And so they may have been some of the major achievements that we experienced that year. We started that flow, and you came on board, Stephen, and you took the baton, and you continue to move the club to higher heights. And now we have Mike, who is now in the chair. So I thank you for the opportunity. I think it was I know it was Dwayne Swaby, past President Dwayne Swaby, who sponsored me to become a member of the club. And I think, I don't remember how much years I've been in the club, but I continue to enjoy being a part of Rotary. So thank you so much for this time to say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Darlene. Thank you for your kind words, and I think we're moving along because I want to give everybody a chance. Some of you, I just feel like 1 or 2 of y'all, I can give you a little chance to pass.
Why is he looking at you, Sheila?
We can be okay. Okay, John. President John is in this room. John, you know what I want you to do in this scenario?
When I spoke to you last night, I said, I don't remember anything about the computer. And I got some information about it. Okay. Okay, I'm just highlight some things. We had in September, we had this mix and mingle event at the art gallery. And when we tried to network with several, like the engineering group and some other groups, business groups, to try and give them an awareness of the Rotary Foundation, and also to encourage maybe some new members. Also, I happened to look at the number of speakers that we had, and it was interesting that we had a number of with the assistance of various people in the club, a number of sort of high-profile people. The now Chief Justice Brian Marie, at the time COB, it was President Betsy Bosey, and Ryan Pinder was Minister of Financial Services, Rupert Pinder, who is an economics lecturer. And these are quite no, these were our various speakers that we had. Bernice Walking, and Dr. Harold Munnings, Romualda Ferreira, Sam Duncan, just some interest. Also, at the end of the year, we decided to make all of the members Paul Harris Fellows. So we used some of the points that we had available to us. So at the end of that year, we were 100% Paul Harris members. And projects with other clubs, we gave 500 to Cancer Society via the Rotary Club of Louthra. For people coming to Nassau for cancer screening. And also interesting, we gave 500 to Club in Nigeria for providing proper toilet facilities in a village that their club had adopted. And then an important thing is that that was the year that we adopted Stephen Dillett Primary School. We also did a breakfast program there where we provided breakfast 2 or 3 days a week. And also we went to the club, members of the club went to Stephen Dillett on a Wednesday and did some reading to the children. We had a careers fair under vocational, goals of Rotary. And it was one of our other adopted high school students. And also we hosted children from two of the children's homes there. And also going back to Jamal with the health fair, but at that time it was held at the Simpson Penn School for Boys, along with girls from the Wilmette Pratt School. Fundraising, we lost Fred Lunn as our fundraiser that year, so it was a little difficult. We managed to raise about $16.50 here at the Yacht Club at Burns night in January, where we had sponsored the prizes and well, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. And Chantel has talked about, and I told her before she went to the district conference, how beneficial it was. And I didn't go to the conference in Nassau. I went to all of them, whether it was here or away.
Right. Okay. So you could have some other night. You said you don't tell 2 o'clock that night.
Not me.
But you are still we can hear the stories all day. I can sit down and entertain all day. But finally we wrap it up to bring it home. No, Tony Wallace, Tony, you gotta say a little tidbit. Tony, you there?
Just me now. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, and I want you to tell me why you brought Dottie into the club and why you sponsor her. Tell me why.
Okay. Well, first of all, I joined Rotary shortly after the Second Napoleonic War. I think it was 1806 or 1807. So no, it was a while ago. You can ask me when I was president. I really don't do dates very well, so I'm not too sure. But I joined Rotary because I was invited to join by my father-in-law, Peter Christie. And joining Rotary was quite intimidating. It was a very elite club in many ways, in that the head person of the bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, the Royal Bank of Canada, excuse me, was traditionally a member. The British, not ambassador, what do they call him? Anyway, the guy in charge of the British Embassy would be a member. Postmaster General John Saunders would be a member. So it was a very select group of people, and it was very intimidating to begin with. But as everyone knows, Rotary is a very positive, warm group of people, and it brings out the best in people. And so fairly quickly, I became very comfortable. And it was never my intention to be president. Perhaps that's true for all presidents. And it's certainly nothing I sort of joined thinking this would be as a goal at all. But I enjoyed my presidency. It was a challenging time, as it is for everyone. You know, it takes up a lot of time if you're president, when you're having committee meetings for the various committees, and then you're having the joint presidents meeting, and then you've got the weekly meeting, and of course running a business at the same time. It's quite demanding of your time. What it does teach you, though, was a couple of things that teaches you. One, it's a wonderful experience in public speaking. The first time you get up and talk to the Rotary Club, and some other presidents might agree with me when I say it can be a little bit intimidating. But by the time you've done it for a year, it's easy-ish. So it's a wonderful benefit. I think someone asked the key moments. One of the things I most enjoyed and I felt most satisfied was that we instigated, when I became president, a changeover banquet. We sort of marked it with a changeover banquet. And John Morley owned a building that was rented by the jazz club. Very good jazz musician. His name's gone out of my mind. Anyway, we took over the jazz club on Market Street for the night of the changeover banquet, and my friend Tony McKay, also known as the Obeah Man, Exuma, the Obeah Man.
Was that the cat and fiddle?
You know him?
I'm sorry?
Nope.
Oh, anyway, he came and played, and so we had a lovely changeover banquet. My one big mistake, because we also need to know that, you know, the negative things, whereas the good things. Like some other presidents have mentioned, I never wanted to bang my own drum, toot my own horn as a president, and I thought that Rotary should not be publicizing its achievements. So, you know, the awards and things which are well deserved by presidents, I never even tried to achieve them. I thought it was more to, you know, better to be quiet in the background, which obviously in retrospect was a mistake. Sorry, am I still on?
Yes, yes.
Hello? Oh, okay, sorry, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm actually in England, staying at my mother's house, so which is why I'm not in the meeting in person. But the other big mistake I made was that I came back from, you know, I joined Rotary, and you go to the pets meeting and you get all fired up, and I was fired up with zeal, and on joining, this is before fax, before letters, I mean before email, and so I sent every Rotarian a letter, because our club was in a sort of slow decline in terms of membership and effective, although I felt it was. So I sent everyone a letter about how we all should rededicate ourselves to Rotary ideals and, you know, participate more and do more things. And it's when I came last week to the Rotary meeting, I came early and I sat in the yacht club bar and I got talking to Godfrey Thomas. And Godfrey Thomas's father, Brian Thomas, was a long-time member, a very good member of our club. And when I sent this letter out to all the members, apparently, I know I did not apparently, I upset Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas had moved to Spanish Wales, and he was offended by my letter. He said that, you know, every year I have donated $1,000 to the Rotary Club of Nassau, and here you are telling me I've got to do better. And he was very miffed. And it was a lesson. You have to be sensitive to people, because being a president of the Rotary Club, you try and achieve wonderful things with the participation of club members, but you have to do it without the carrot and the stick that you have in business. You can't give someone a bonus of an extra, you know, salary, and you can't give them threaten to give them a termination letter. You don't have any carrots and sticks. People have to be encouraged to do it sort of out of the goodness of their heart. And learning to do that as a president is a skill which you hopefully achieve in your years as president. So I found it very, very valuable. And of course, winning the debate against our very good past president, wonderful Rotarian John Morley, who did not want to have women in the club because that was the one place in the Bahamas where was not run by women, unlike his house and his office and everywhere else he went. He said the Rotary Club of Nassau is the one place I can go that's all men. I want to keep it that way. And he was leading the debate to vote against, to have women not come in the club. And I was leading the debate that, where women really deserve to have a club, deserve to be in the club, because it was in the spirit of Rotary that women were now equal.
We gotta put a little wrap on it. All right.
Oh, right. So that was it. Thank you. Great to see everyone.
And the UK is nice. The snow, you play in the snow and everything's going good. Yeah.
Lovely. I'm here for my daughter having a baby next week. So we're over here for that.
Congratulations in advance. All right.
Thank you in advance. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Vice President Tony. And we can bring it home. Listen there. Everybody gotta stay for this, man. Don't leave. To bring it home, Miss Rotary will want all Miss Rotary of the year contest and all that. Lady, Sheila, she brought me to the club. Sheila, this is my story now. She brought me to the club, responsible for me being here. Sheila, what I want you to do, take it special. While we talk about all that exciting thing, you know how it is, you know where we are now. What would you like to see the future of the club to look like? And what advice would you give the future president? And why should people aspire to be a president? Answer all of that.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Actually, I was looking at the way the club has been recently since COVID ended. And we've split. We have them and we have us. When I became president, we had them and us as well. But it was the older members and the younger well, not younger necessarily, but the newer members. And they never really spoke to each other. So when I was president, what I did was I thought, how can we fix this? We need to socialize. So I started what became known as our First Fridays, which were getting together at the Green Parrot or cricket club or whatever, all of us together. And it really did mend the club. One thing I'll never forget is Raquel saying to me after, I think it was probably the first Friday that we did, that she had never spoken with Jim Roberts during the meetings. And she had sat next to him and found out that Jim used to be a track star in the Bahamas. And she never knew that. And it really opened her eyes to, that there are stories in here, not just about what we've done in Rotary, but what we do in our lives as well. And the only way that you're going to really learn about that is by sitting here round a table, face to face, moving about and getting to know people. So what I'd like to see happening in the future, that all the incoming presidents make it a focus to make sure that we have a cohesive club, that we don't have any splits. We don't have them and us anywhere. It's very easy for that to happen. It's very easy. But I think one of the other things I'd like to see as well is we have a huge number of fairly new members in the club. They outnumber the longer term members. What I've found as well is that very few of the newer members really know anything about Rotary except for the bubble we live in the Bahamas. There's not much known about the bigger picture, what Rotary does in the world. Case in point, this young man next to me, I know who you are. I said this young man, we didn't realize I meant you. No, this young man, Kino, looked at me just now and said, Sheila, what are all these banners on the wall? Why are they there? And I said, they're called trading banners. And he looked blank. And I said, when we have visiting Rotarians coming to the club from away, they bring their club banner with them. Did you guys know we had a club banner? Well, they bring their club banner and we exchange banners and they go up on these things. So there's a lot of even basic stuff about how clubs work that we don't know. I know Chantel is very keen on doing some extensive training for the club and the incoming board. So my wish is that we get to know each other better. We get to know Rotary better. And because of that, we're going to be an even better club than we are now. Remember, Rotary Club of Nassau is #1 in the Bahamas, first in the Bahamas. And we have to live up to that and really work at it. And one other little thing, I did not want to join Rotary. I refused to join Rotary. I was forced to join Rotary by Tony Wallace. And I was kicking and screaming. I don't join clubs. I don't do this. I already do all this charity stuff. I'm not joining Rotary. And having been president in 2009-10, the district public image chair for 3 years, assistant zone coordinator for 4 years, and the Zone 34 public image coordinator, I think I want to be a Rotarian. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
So Sheila, I guess that's where you got that twisting arm business from, because Sheila twisted my arm in becoming president. She's like, it was easy, man. It's not a problem. But you mentioned something also that I think is very important. Remember when we did the Rotary Minute? And the reason we did that was so that persons coming into the club could understand, while Rotary has a present and a future, it also has a past. And I think it's important, we can't forget that past, right? And so I think it's important to make sure that we are educating the new members and reminding the existing members or the longer term members of what Rotary is about, the worldwide focus and all the things that Rotary does. So I think we need to re-implement the Rotary Minute.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah, good idea. Definitely.
All right, thank you very much. And I think we have gotten some good food that we digested, some good thought, reflection.
Excuse me, we've missed out a president.
Oh, which president we missed out?
You.
That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Steven's here. Come on, Steven.
What I'm saying to you.
Let's go, Steven. Let's go, Steven.
I need a day.
A whole day.
No, but what I'm saying to you, please, in interest of time, I think I was moderating the day. I think we wanted to hear from our past presidents, and that was fine. I didn't mean the moderator should have the, moderator should speak. For that. No. Sorry. I'm sorry. I want to thank all y'all for the support that y'all give me. Everybody support me. I want to thank y'all for a wonderful day. Give yourself a hand for having me. Thank you. No, but anyway, we had a good time, man. This is fun time. I know rules, there's rules, you next and you next, but we're breaking the rules today, man. So the president, I don't have to speak at all times, all right? Because Sheila just started. So next time, Sheila won't speak, all right? So we can get the time, we can get the wrap it up, all
Okay, good. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. We have the raffle going on, and we have a prize. John Bull gift certificate. Who wants a John Bull certificate? Well, they sell some good stuff from John Bull. Anyone want to purchase any tickets? Last minute. 1 for 5, 3 for 10. No one? No one? Nope. Okay, yes, we have something in the back here. Oh, we do? Yeah, you got it. Oh, and I think we get some more people around who want this John Bull. They want his John Bull. They love the colognes John Bull sells. They love the fine jewelry John Bull sells. They love the fine, what else John Bull sells now? Everything here. Oh, yeah, bikes, they sell stationery stuff too. So let's go. We get a number of vans at this table here. And I do apologize to you online that you cannot participate.
Shake your head.
Yeah.
Mine will be on the top.
Let's go. I know you're selling.
Do you believe this? Only when you're in person. We don't have change. You're going to have 9 tickets.
There you go. Make sure you put that in.
Yes.
Okay. Because I have to win that.
That's good sales technique, Chantel. That's sales technique. Thank you. I remember that next time.
Shall you purchase all those tickets? Let's connect. Okay, beautiful. Bring them up. For a minute. Bring them up. It'll be a shame if Sheila don't win. Sheila bought so much tickets. It's all for worthy cause. It's all for worthy cause. Take it up. Take it up and then bring it in. Take it up and bring it in.
Yeah, you know, put your hand in there. No, you can put your hand in there. Come on. Hey. Ooh, hold on, don't drop any though. Oh goodness. Yes, that's the. That's all. There you go. Feel free to mix them up again, Dottie. That's fine.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, someone is going to walk away with his John Bull gift certificate.
Someone.
And so raise your hand if you have 0185. Okay, coming up next. Let me know if you raise your hand if you have number 4. Someone have number 4 coming up.
Is that you?
01854. And then the money ticket. The money ticket. 2.
Who's that?
018542. Larry just bought it. That goes to the celebration, Larry. That goes to the celebration. Continue celebrating. He's taking his photo now. Larry's taking his photo now. And incoming President Chantel. What a joy. Sheila, sorry, next time.
All right, Miss Stevens, 4-way test.
Jamal used to ask me what numbers I liked.
Oh gosh.
You want to do the 4-way too? Where did Stephen go? Did we lose him? Yeah. All right, of the things we think, say or do, can we all please stand? Can we stand for the 4-way test, please? All right. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun? Yes, it was fun.
So we have the Rotary notes now. Going around the board. Jamal, Past President Jamal.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sergeant. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please raise your glasses and join me in saying Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
And President Mike, is he still on for the enjoyment?
That would be me. Thank you all so much. We had a great session today. We have to take a photo because I think this is the most we've had in person since we started again. So we have to take a photo to mark this. Yes, please. But thank you all so much. We may have a parking lot if we can find Stephen. I think Stephen ducked out, but if not, we will have a parking lot. But thank you all so much for attending. So let's get it. Oh, he's coming now to take this photo. Oh, okay. Yes, okay.
They're not putting our banner out. I asked them about that. And I asked about our badges. By the way, everyone, we actually have badges too. But I think they're so used to nobody being here. They didn't put them out.
Thank you so much. Come, Larry. Come. That dog is good. No, because I think we need
Come on, Larry.
come in.
Come break up this line of women.
Yes.
boy.
Can we see you? You got to be in the picture. Make sure we can see you. Sandra, I don't know if we can see you back
Can we have the past president and the president right in the middle, please? All the presidents, all the past presidents, come in the middle. That's one.
Ready? Everybody ready?
One, two, one.
Rotary! Yay!
Take another one.
We are back.
You're taking up more.
Yes.
It looks like I almost twisted it.
I hope it's up. Oh, gosh. We good now? We good now?
Oh, my goodness.
So Stephen, I guess that was the parking lot today? No parking lot today?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, all right, thank you all. Good day. Everybody was laughing, yeah.
Thank you, Shannon.
All right, thank you too.
Thank you. I do remember to do that.
Trying to get somebody. Public image day. I don't know, it's a challenge, so we can keep trying. Yeah, there's only what, there was 4 online and everybody else was here, yeah. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I had to let Catherine know you earned a gift certificate. What did I do?